The Patriots got busy this morning. They signed 4 players off the NFL waiver wire. We're going to break down who those players are because it's actually a mix of offensive and defensive players, which came as a bit of a surprise. But I do think they could end up making quite a drastic impact for the depth chart. But before we hop into that stuff, I want to get to the news that a lot of us have been waiting for on this Wednesday afternoon. We thought Jerod Mayo was going to address the QB1 situation, but he is truly stretching this out as far as it possibly can go. No official announcement as to who the quarterback is for the New England Patriots for Week 1, but head coach Jerod Mayo says that he's going to talk to the players tomorrow about the starting quarterback, and then he'll share with the media. However, there's 2 things to note here. 1, we always knew he was going to tell the team before he told the media. But number 2, he's not scheduled to talk to the media tomorrow, nor for the rest of the week. So when are we finally going to realize who quarterback 1 is? Mayo said the Patriots have made decisions on it, but they just have not announced it just yet. But Jerod Mayo was asked, hey, who's helping you out in this decision? Is it Alex Van Pelt? And he's like, yeah, of course, Alex Van Pelt has a say in it. But Jerod Mayo has reiterated time and time again, it's my decision to make. So whoever plays Week 1 is going to be Jerod Mayo's first big decision as an NFL coach. So it's really going to play out either well or really bad. But here's a full quote on what Jerod Mayo had to say. He goes, "We might be good. What might be good for the team right now might not be best for the team weeks from now," which is kind of what all Patriots fans had in their mind. If Jacoby Brissett does start Week 1, it doesn't mean by Week 5 he'll be the starter. So just because one player starts Week 1 over the other does not mean he is going to be QB1 for 17 weeks. You need to keep that in mind because that is huge for a rookie in a vet situation. Maybe if Drake Maye does end up starting Week 1 and he just completely shits the bed, maybe Jacoby Brissett Jacoby Brissett steps in and takes over for Week 3, Week 7, Week 10. Who knows? But with that being said, who do you think Jerod Mayo picks as QB1 for Week 1? Not Week 17, Week 1. Type JB for Jacoby Brissett. Type DM for Drake Maye. Let me know your final thoughts, hopefully, on this quarterback situation. If Jerod Mayo says it's true, he will announce it tomorrow. But before I hop into those really intriguing waiver claims, I do want to tell you guys real quick about the #1 food delivery service in America. I am talking about Factor Meals. This is a food delivery service that I 110% trust. And the #1 thing that I love about it is that it's no prep, no mess, chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, which I absolutely love, and they're ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you're going to get with this football season coming up, or your kids are starting school as well, and I know it gets really hectic to try and figure out who's eating what and how can I make this. Well, with Factor Meals, you don't have to worry about that. You can actually spend more time out of the kitchen with 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every single week. So why not make your week just absolutely delicious from breakfast to dessert? Stay fueled with easy, nutritious options. I actually love their grab-and-go smoothies on top of their dinner meals. I try to just limit myself to about a snack and a meal a day, so that's where I'm headed. So if you guys want to go on ahead and head over to factormeals.com/PatsChat50, use code PatsChat50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code PatsChat50 at factormeals.com/PatsChat50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. Now let's get to the juicy stuff. Who are the 4 players the Patriots claimed off the waiver wire, which we knew they were going to be active? Jerod Mayo even said the offensive line is really where we want to target. But one quick information update before the waiver wire claims is who's on the practice squad. Well, they ended up keeping running back Terrell Jennings, which I was a little surprised that they ended up keeping Terrell Jennings over Kevin Harris, who I thought was just a complete snub from the 53-man roster. But Terrell Jennings, really young, has a lot of potential. Same with wide receiver Matt Landers. They signed him last week, and he was always signed as a, hey, look, you're not going to make a 53-man roster, but let's see what you can do for a practice squad addition. And then they did take defensive back A.J. Thomas in that same boat with Matt Landers. But now the real deal. These are the 4 new players for the New England Patriots 53-man roster. We got Demontrey Jacobs. He recently got cut from the Denver Broncos, but look at that position right there. Offensive tackle. That is what we really wanted to target here. And I think overall, when you're getting somebody like Demontrey Jacobs, you're getting somebody off the waiver who has a lot of experience under their belt. And I thought this graphic pretty much summed him up, in my opinion. And here's what he did out of South Florida last year in 2023. Obviously, seeing he's a big guy, 6'2". His weight is obviously up there as well, 312 pounds. And obviously, he's got some speed to him. I like the 5.1 in his 40-yard dash. I mean, obviously, for an offensive lineman, he's never going to be in the 4s. So I'll take that really early in the 5s. But I do think that when you've got somebody that just needs to make a big move here, and that is the offensive tackle position, then why not go on ahead and try to get somebody off the waiver wire? So that was the first move that they made, but they also did end up signing another offensive tackle here, Zachary Thomas. His previous team was the Los Angeles Rams, and Zachary Thomas has definitely had a name that's swirled around the NFL for quite some time, but hasn't really gotten to stick just yet. Kind of the same thing here, his athletic score. This is what I saw when I was on Twitter looking at who this new player is, and you're kind of getting a similar style of player. He's big-bodied, he's got big hands, he's got explosiveness, he's got the speed, which you love to see from an offensive lineman. But although you do still have Verdarian Lowe at your left tackle and maybe even Chuck Okorafor at the right tackle, you're really looking for depth here. Why? Because this is a player that teams didn't want. So then our team picked him up. So you may not find a starter on your waiver wires, but if he can contest and make it harder for the Patriots starting 5 in practice, then that's what he needs to do. So with those 2 pickups on the offensive line, which Jerod Mayo said a week ago, our starting tackle and guard may not be on the roster just yet. So it doesn't mean that they're looking for just depth chart. They can still have this guy be a starter, but did the Patriots offensive line get better today? I'll take your word for it. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Kind of a similar mindset here in the draft. I did not think they were going to pick up any defensive players, but they ended up signing big-body Curtis Jacobs from Penn State. He was most recently playing for the champs, the Kansas City Chiefs. And here's what you guys need to know about Jacobs. Actually, this is my favorite pickup that the Patriots did claim off the waiver wire. He's a 2024 UDFA from Penn State, where he absolutely dominated as a starter for 3 seasons. And his 2023 stats with the Nittany Lions, 61 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, and 1 interception. And the linebacker is praised for his big hands, which they actually called him big mitts, and explosiveness. When you're looking at that linebacker position, yes, it doesn't go that deep, but you also just got rid of Matthew Judon. So having somebody come into the depth chart is going to be huge. And I loved this from PFF College. Highest graded rookie linebacker from preseason week 2 with the Kansas City Chiefs. It was Curtis Jacobs for the 91. That's phenomenal. It sounds like he was still really performing in the preseason, so how can he translate that to one of the top 10 defenses in the NFL? That's what I'm excited for. Last but not least, Eric Johnson II, his previous team being the Indianapolis Colts, the only team he has played for so far in the NFL, but they're actually signing on a defensive tackle, which makes sense knowing that Christian Barmore is on that IR right now. We don't know how long he's going to be until he can return from his blood clots. But here's an overview of what these 4 waiver claims do end up looking like, with a little bit of emphasis on Curtis Jacobs having the 4.5 40-yard dash as a linebacker is huge. 6'1", 241 pounds. And you got Eric Johnson there, 4.8 on his 40-yard dash, still 300 pounds, 6'4". Overall, when I'm looking at this line, on offense and on defense, they just got physically bigger, which you can never go wrong with, and a little bit faster as well. So my final question to you guys is, which waiver claim are you most excited for? Mine's definitely going to be Curtis Jacobs. I think the linebacker room was some depth that obviously went under the radar because the offensive line is so bad. Hopefully the offensive tackles can make a splash here, but it looks like Verdarian Lowe, Caden Wallace, Layden Robinson, and Chuck Okorafor are going to take down those spots in the meantime. But until anything else happens, I'll keep you guys updated right here on Patriots Today by Chat Sports. They may make 4 more roster moves moves as well, because the Pats will now have to cut 4 players to keep those 4 players. And Jerod Mayo also speculated on that. He's like, look, this day sucks. I just told 4 guys yesterday they're on the initial roster, and now I have to go back and say, my bad, we're actually going to waive you and let you go. Not to mention, no Patriots cuts were claimed on the waiver wire this morning. But they did make a few moves as well, in the fact that a lot of them coming from the practice squad, not staying with the Patriots, or re-signing with another practice squad in the NFL. Bailey Zappi being the most notable name here. He did sign with the Chiefs practice squad. That's huge. I did not see that coming, but he is now going to go play with the champions this upcoming season on their practice squad. Sam Roberts as well. He signed with the Bears practice squad. Antonio Mafi is not expected to sign with the Patriots. The one that hurts the most is David Wallace, the Division III wide receiver. He's super fast. I really thought he would be a really good asset on practice squad, but I guess he is also not going to re-sign with the Patriots on the practice squad, nor will Joshua Bledsoe. So there's a little update on the Patriots, who have now moved on from New England. If you guys want the latest on your New England Patriots, I'll do all the work for you. All you have to do is hit that sub button for me.